It was one of those scorching afternoons in Oakwood General Hospital's parking deck, the kind where the heat waves dance off the concrete, and everything feels a little too really pulled up on my old Harley. Engine rumbling down to a growl as I killed it, gloves off, ready to check on a buddy inside, who'd taken a bad spill on his bike the week before. But then I spotted him. This kid couldn't have been more than 10, tucked behind a support beam on the third level, his head shaved clean from what looked like chemo, skin ghostly pale with patches of red from the sun beating down, wearing faded Spider-Man PJs that hung loose on his skinny from one hand, a bottle of what I recognized as heavy-duty painkillers. The other clutching a sandwich bag stuffed with trading cards that sparkled like little treasures. "Hey, little man," I called out soft, not wanting to spook him, but he jumped anyway, pills spilling everywhere like scattered marbles on the hot pavement, and he dove after them, eyes wild, breathing ragged. "Please don't tell I'll give you anything," he begged, voice cracking as he thrust the bag at me. "These Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they're worth like $600 easy. If I give them to you, will you just make sure I don't wake up?" Man, those words hit me like a freight train. I'd heard grown men plead like that in the deserts overseas, buddies bleeding out, begging for the mercy shot. But from a kid, it froze me solid, my heart pounding in my chest as I crouched down slow, keeping my voice steady. Even though inside I was reeling, "Kid, you don't need an end right now. What you need is someone in your corner, fighting alongside you." His name was Ethan Hayes. Turns out, just turned 10, cancer back for the second round. The kind that chews you up and spits you out. Docs talking bone marrow transplants that had hurt like hell. His mom working double shifts at the diner just to keep the lights on. Dad long gone after the first diagnosis cracked him, leaving Ethan feeling like a burden, like ending it would be kinder to everyone. "I can't watch her cry anymore," he whispered, tears streaking his dirt-smudged face, clutching those pills like they were his only way out. In me, Jack Thompson, ex-Marine turned biker with the Steel Oath crew, I'd buried too many friends to war and wrecks. But this was a war I hadn't signed up for. Yet here I was, pulling out my phone, texting the boys. "Emergency, level 3, now bring the thunder." The rumble started low, like distant storm clouds rolling in, and Ethan's eyes went wide as saucers when the first bikes crested the ramp, chrome flashing under the sun, engines shaking the whole damn structure. 15 Harleys pulling up in formation, my crew dismounting one by one, these rough-edged guys with scars and stories etched into their skin. Big Mike, our tank of a sergeant-at-arms, beard like steel wool, knelt down first, his knees popping as he eyed Ethan. "You the tough guy we're hearing about?" Ethan shrank back, whispering, "Are you gonna hurt me?" Mike chuckled deep. "Nah, kid, we're here to share war stories. Cause docs gave me 6 months with a liver spot the size of a fist, wanted to check out every damn day, but these fools wouldn't let me." Then came Rico, lean and wiry, one leg a prosthetic from an IED in Afghanistan, pinning his empty sleeve as he sat cross-legged. "Lost this in the sand. Came home, stared down a bottle just like yours, Jack here, pulled me back before I swallowed him." Ethan blinked, confusion mixing with that spark of curiosity. "Why tell me this?" I leaned in. "Because alone sucks, kid, but with brothers? You got a shot." We circled up, not trapping him, but shielding him from the world. Sun bouncing off our vests embroidered with Steel Oath in bold thread. I pulled a junior-sized leather cut from my saddlebag, the prospect patch shining fresh. "This means your family now. Ethan, every needle, every bad night. We're right there." His fingers trembled as he touched it. "But I'm dying." "Maybe," I said, helping him slip it on, the leather warm against his chills. "But not alone, and not today." That's when the first pushback HIDA security guard waddled up, badge gleaming, face twisted like he'd bitten a lemon. "You can't be here. This is hospital property. Get these bikes out, or I'm calling the cops." I stood tall, voice calm but firm. "We're not leaving till the kid's ready. He's got 1 hour with us. Then we'll talk." The guard huffed, radio crackling as he called it in, but Ethan gripped my arm. "Don't go." And damn if that didn't steal my resolve. "You fired up the engines anyway." Me patting the seat behind. "Hop on, Prospect, let's show you what freedom feels like." The ride out was electric. Wind whipping through as we hit the open road out of Oakwood, tires humming on asphalt, cars pulling over to gawk at the convoy with this tiny kid clinging to my back, his hospital band fluttering like a flag. At the lake, we parked, spread a blanket, passed sodas. Ethan's eyes lit when he sipped one. "It's so Fizzithy never let me have this," and Rico grinned. "Rules change when you're with us, little bro." We talked real then, about the pain that doesn't show, the nights you question everything but laughter crept in too, Mike telling dumb jokes till Ethan giggled, a sound like bells in the quiet. Back at the hospital, his mom, Sarah, burst out the doors, face a mess of worry and relief, scooping him up. "Ethan, oh God, where were you?" He hugged her tight. "Mom, these guys three my brothers now." And she looked at me, eyes narrowing, suspicious at first. "You took him?" "Without telling anyone." I nodded. "He needed air. Miami to see there's more than walls and wires." But she softened when Ethan smiled up. "I want to fight, Mom, with them." That's where the real conflict brewed. Dr. Ellis Grant, the head oncologist, a stiff suit with a clipboard and a god complex, striding into the waiting area later that day. "Mr. Thompson, your gang is disrupting my ward. Patients need rest, not this circus." I crossed my arms. That kid was ready to end it up there. Gave him hope. "Doc, something your pills can't prescribe." He sneered. "Hope? Your thugs on bikes. Have you seen types like you stirring trouble? Probably just for the publicity. I'll have security escort you out, and if you come back, I'll file for a restraining order." Sarah overheard, stepping between us, voice shaking. "They saved my son today. Please, let them visit." Grant paused, but his jaw set. "One slip, and you're gone. This is my hospital." It stung, his dismissal, like we were the problem, not the disease eating Ethan alive. Motivated by his ego, I figured, years of controlling life and death, hating anything that challenged his authority, especially a bunch of leather-clad vets who didn't bow to his white coat. We didn't back down, started showing up in pairs, slipping past Grant's watchful eyes, bringing burgers and beats, turning Ethan's room into a haven of noise and normalcy. Mike shaved his head one morning in solidarity. "If you're bald, we're all bald," making Ethan crack up even through the nausea of chemo. Rico taught him card tricks, distracting from the 4 burns. But Grant pushed harder, cornering me in the hall one day. "I know you're type ex-military," hiding PTSD behind bravadry, endangering him with this fantasy brotherhood. I fired back, low and sharp. "And you?" "Hiding behind degrees while kids like him slip through the cracks. We're the ones keeping him fighting, not your cold stats." The tension peaked when Ethan spiked a fever that night, infection raging, monitors blaring as they rushed him to ICU. Sarah sobbing. "He's crashing," and Grant barking orders, but glancing at me with that smug, "I told you so" glare, like our interference caused it. We gathered in the chapel downstairs, 15 of us, knees on the cold floor. I'd lost faith after the war, but there we were, murmuring please, Mike whispering, "Don't take the kid, he's got miles left." And somehow, against odds, Ethan's fever broke. Docs called it a fluke, but we knew better, a miracle born from sheer will. Grant stormed in later, charts in hand. "He's stabilizing, but no more visits till I say." And that's when the counterpunch landed. Word spread online, locals sharing our story, donations pouring in, reporters showing up, turning the spotlight on Grant's iron fist. Sarah confronted him in front of cameras. "These men gave my boy hope. You're the one blocking healing." The hospital board caved, easing rules, and we ramped up, organized the first Thunder Ride for Ethan. 50 bikes roaring through Oakwood, Ethan up front with me, weak but waving, the town cheering as Grant watched from the window, face red, defeated. 2 years on, Ethan's in remission, riding his own mini Harley at our annual event. The lake picnic, a tradition. Now's taller, feisty, telling jokes that rival Mike's. Grant. He retired early, muttering about unprofessionalism. But last I heard, he donated to our fund anonymously. Guess, even Stoneheart's crack. We won that war, but it makes you wonder, was pushing back against the system right? Or did we risk too much, blurring lines between rebels and rescuers? In a world where docs hold the power, should outsiders like us step in? Or does that just breed more chaos in communities already fractured? If this hits home, drop a comment. Was Grant the villain, or just doing his job? Have you faced gatekeepers like that in your fights? Share your take on justice versus rules. Hit subscribe for more real tales that prove sometimes the loudest engines drive the deepest change. And let's keep the conversation rolling because stories like this remind us, nobody rides solo.